Welcome back. So now in the second part of this game, Kasparov against Topalov, we will see some very exciting stuff. So I'm looking forward to share this game with you. So the move we have just seen where we stopped was rook from e1 to e7 check. The second rook sacrifice in 2 moves, and black cannot accept the second rook sacrifice, then he would lose immediately. So black played king b6. If he takes the rook, he will just lose. Queen takes d4, king b8, queen b6 check, bishop b7, knight c6, and black is mated. So that doesn't work, obviously. And if king b8 immediately, now white can also take on d4. Black can still not take on e7. Obviously it would transpose to the line we have just seen. And if he plays another move, let's say knight d7, also white was threatening mate on a7, so knight d7 kind of forced. Bishop takes d7. Now it's beautiful how the queen is looking to both sides of the chessboard, and black cannot take back the bishop on d7 with the rook because the rook on h8 would be hanging, and he cannot take the rook on e7 either because the queen would come to b6. So black can take on d5, but c4 is a very strong move, and again black cannot take on e7, and white is winning here. Alright, so black played king b6, only move, and now queen takes d4, and the black king is now forced to go to a5. If queen c5, then queen takes f6 check, queen d6, and now a beautiful move once again here. We will see a lot of beautiful moves indeed. Bishop e6, and black obviously cannot take this bishop because of rook takes e6, and after bishop takes d5, b4, and white is winning once again. There's also a threat of queen d4 now, so if bishop takes e6, which is also not possible because of rook b7, so it's just too much going on here for black's king, and black cannot protect or prevent all the white threats. So black took on a5, b4 check, king a4. Now the king is on a4, and we'll see so many mating ideas here with the king on a4. And this is what Kasparov had seen when he played this whole combination. He had seen the king will be on a4, and just intuitively he knew that this would give him great attacking prospects. But here he actually missed the best move. He played queen c3. He could have won immediately by playing rook a7. And also again we'll see some wonderful lines. So what's the idea anyway? Well, the rook is now having an eye on a6, and we can see some example variations. Knight takes d5. Now we can see the idea here. Rook takes a6. The rook is sacrificing itself once again. This time black has no option but to take on a6, and now queen b2 and the king. Oh, looks bad. Knight c3 only move, queen takes, bishop d5, but still king b2. The king is going to help now again. White is having this threat, queen b3 followed by c takes b3 mate, so queen e6 only move, but it's just delaying the mate, and it's coming right here. And what a beautiful end position we have here on the board. Black is still up 2 rooks, but his king is mated. So this is the idea of rook a7, and the only way really for black to prevent this idea is bishop b7, but now rook takes b7, and here queen takes d5 or knight takes d5, and here once again beautiful move found by a computer. Bishop d7, what a move, incredible, really incredible. We will see the idea in a second. If black takes this bishop, then queen b2, and with the rook on d8 and the bishop on h3. So if white plays queen b2 immediately, black could now play knight takes b4, and he would be winning. But here, white can now play rook takes d7. So this was the whole idea of bishop d7, quite deep. And here, black is lost. Also, notice that the rook on h8 is hanging. And if knight c3 now, then queen takes, queen d1 check, king b2, and now rook d3 in order to save black, but it's not working. Rook a7, and white is mating once again. I was also just wondering what happens after queen d4 in this situation, but I believe, well, probably there's nothing better than to take on d7, but still this looks quite good for white here. I was just wondering if there's anything better, anything more convincing even, than to take. Well, no, it doesn't look like, so white has to go for this rook endgame. And in this position of the bishop d7, maybe the best try for black is rook a8, but now bishop sacrifices itself on b5, and now rook a7 check, rook takes a7, queen takes a7 would end in a mate, so queen a6, and now queen takes d5, and once again the black king is mated. So maybe this is also not the best option for black to play. Okay, so let's return. And there's one more line I would like to cover in this specific variation. We have just seen knight takes d5, and now what about queen takes d5? Now rook b6 again, threatening to mate. And there's one more interesting line here, a5, rook a6, rook a8, and now the queen goes to e3 again. Beautiful move. Rook takes a6, king b2, it's incredible. Black is up 2 rooks, but he cannot protect his king. A takes b5, a takes b5, now queen a3 is threatening mate, king takes b4, queen c3, and the black king simply cannot escape the mate. Wow. And one more line I have here after rook b6, not a5 but rook a8 immediately. Now queen takes f6, a5, and once again just all the 3 pieces, queen, rook and bishop, are attacking the black king, and black won't be able to defend us, so white is winning here. So that would have been a winning move, rook a7 in this position instead of queen c3. So queen c3. Now obviously white is threatening mate. Well, black can prevent it quite easily with queen takes d5. Now king b2 doesn't work really because of queen d4, so rook a7. Now the rook is coming to a7. Bishop b7, obviously there was no other way really to protect this mate. If rook d6, then again this is this whole combination of mating threats against the black king. Now king b2 again is working because queen d4 is not working now, because now black is once again mated. So bishop b7, and white is simply taking this bishop because obviously the black queen still has to cover this square on b3, so black cannot retake, but he has gained some time at least. And now black played queen c4. Another try, maybe a better try, was rook he8. Now rook b6, very precise move. Rook a7 wouldn't work as well. Rook a8, and now very strong move, bishop f1. Another interesting line here is bishop e6 actually. to block this e-file, but it's not working completely. Here black doesn't have to retake on e6, then again king b2 and queen b3 would follow, but he can play queen c4 now and get into this rook endgame here, and this rook endgame is actually equal. So white has to play precisely and has to play strong move bishop f1. Beautiful. Just to take away this square from the black queen. Now rook ec8 for example. Queen takes c8. Of course, again, mate is coming, so black has to play queen d1, king a2, queen d5 check. First it looks like black might have a perpetual, but then bishop c4. Queen takes c4, and once again we'll reach a rook endgame, but this time way better for white because his king is already on a2 and white is up a pawn. The black king is probably rather weak than strong on a4 because he still needs to watch out with mating ideas, so white is winning here. Let's go back to the game. In the game, black played queen c4. Now, queen takes f6. Of course, taking another piece. The white king is still safe, the queen is protecting everything. And now, black took on a3. Another option was to play rook d1 here, and then king b2, rook a8, queen d4, exchange the queens, but for one, black's king is still in danger on a4, and for the other, white is already having 2 pawns plus the bishop for the exchange, so material wise the position is already balanced, and here black is also lost. Rook e7, and the idea is to play bishop e6 and bishop e3, and there's not really much black can do about this, so black is lost. And instead of queen d4 here, rook a8, then queen b6, now forcing the exchange of queens because there's no other way to protect this mate. So queen d4 is forced, queen takes, rook takes f7, but once again the bishop is coming to e6, and now after a takes b4, bishop b3 check, king a5, a takes b4. Black needs to play king b6, but then he's down 3 pawns. So this should also be winning for white. And the funny trick here is black cannot take on b4. Well, obviously king takes b4 is answered by c3, but also rook takes b4 is answered by c3. And the rook doesn't have any squares on the 4th rank, so black has to give the rook against the bishop, but then white reaches an endgame, rook endgame with a pawn up, and still these pawns are weak here, so this is also winning for white. Alright, and now let's do another short break, and in the last part we'll see how Kasparov finished the chase against the black king. So be right back. See you.